Tonight's public address announcer, Tommy Edwards.
Welcome, fans, to the All-Star Game. Let's meet the starters for the West. At forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance, the standout veteran of the Denver Nuggets, 6'7", Alex English. Making his All-Star debut, the front court star of the Utah Jazz, the mailman, 6'9", Karl Malone. The man in the middle, an all-star, each of his 4 pro seasons from the Houston Rockets, 7 feet, Hakeem Olajuwon. At guard, making his first all-star appearance, the virtuous star of the Denver Nuggets, 6'3", Lafayette Pat Lever. And the NBA leader in assists in his 8th All-Star game from the Los Angeles Lakers, 6'9", Earvin Magic Johnson. The head coach of the West All-Stars is Brad Nelson. Let's hear it for your West All-Stars. And now, the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference. At forward, a 3-time most valuable player, an all-star each of his 9 seasons from the Boston Celtics, 6'9", Larry Bird. He's one of the NBA's most exciting players in his 3rd All-Star game from the Atlanta Hawks, 6'8", Dominique Wilkins. The man in the middle, an all-star for the 10th time. One of the game's most rugged rebounders from the Washington Bullets, 6'10", Moses Malone. At guard, the most valuable player of the 1984 and 1986 All-Star games. This Chicagoan is making his 7th All-Star appearance from the Detroit Pistons, 6'1", Isaiah Thomas. And finally, the NBA leader in scoring and steals, an all-star each of his 4 seasons, the charismatic star of the Chicago Bulls, 6'6", Michael Jordan. The head coach of the East All-Stars is Mike Fratello.
Greetings, everyone, from Chicago, the host of the 1988 All-Star Game. Alongside the terrific Clark Kellogg and our reporter David Aldridge on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this terrific city has produced some greats, and 4 of them playing tonight.
You're exactly right, Kevin. The Windy City, Chicago, has produced Mo Cheeks, Isaiah Thomas, Doc Rivers, and Mark Aguirre, all All-Stars, and I'm sure they've got plenty of family and friends in attendance to enjoy their performance on the court.
Yep, so much to celebrate. And Clark, is there a common thread when you think about a Chicago-type player?
Well, I certainly do believe there's a common thread. When playing outside or outdoors in the Windy City, the perimeter shot can easily get blown off course. So you got to be able to get that thing to the rack and in a straight line fashion. And that's something all Chicago players share in common.
A lot of high flyers, you're right. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside, and Dominique Wilkins with Larry Bird, the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
So the East All-Stars will get the first possession. Now Thomas jacks up a 3. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game. Clark, you see Larry and Magic together in those Converse ads. They've become really the faces of the NBA.
And, Kevin, I think they've inherited the mantle from the great Dr. J. He's done such a great job representing the league all these years, and certainly he's left it in good hands with those two.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Oh, man.
Larkin, amidst this all-star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday, Clark. Can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. And it's Olajuwon missing. Quick start here for the East All-Stars in this one. Bird kicks to Malone. It's Jordan on the wing. This one for three. And when the jump shot is fallen for Michael Jordan, what can you do? He is unstoppable. Haven't been able to stop this run so far.
The opposition continuing to be absolutely relentless.
So the timeout taken here, the first for the West All-Stars. And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. English passes to Johnson. Kicks to Malone. Some nice passing here by the West. Here's Olajuwon. It doesn't go for him. So the East All-Stars will take it the other way. And Michael Jordan won the dunk contest last night, and man, was it great. What a thriller. He and Dominique Clark put on a great show, and you could tell they both wanted it so badly. Perhaps the home court advantage gave Michael Jordan Clark the edge.
And there was another winner from last night, and that was Larry Bird, taking home the trophy in the three-point shootout. And he didn't even need to take off his warm-ups to handle his business.
Clark, somebody told me he looked at the rest of the competitors and said, okay, who's going to be in second place here? Who's going to finish behind me?
Sounds just like him.
And plenty of subplots to this game. For more, let's send it over to David Aldridge. D.A., take it away.
Thanks very much. Now, this story has never gone away over the years, guys. Isaiah Thomas is, of course, a native Chicagoan, but you'll still hear some boos today from Bulls fans. That's because at that All-Star game a couple of years ago, people questioned whether Isaiah froze out Michael Jordan. Some people still believe it. Guys, back to you.
That story has not gone away. Thank you, David. For what it's worth, Clark, Isaiah Thomas denies there was a freeze-out, and Jordan himself says, I never said it, so what do you think?
But the reality is, we probably never will know the full story.
And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. Veteran IQ and smarts. But you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed, they do. And there's Michael Jordan, the assist by Thomas. Jordan's got 15. And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
Wasted no time on that one. He's got 17. And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
The Tennessee Volunteers should be here. Olajuwon with incredible footwork for a big man. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
Hey, Clark, the record for points in the All-Star game is 42, set by Wilt Chamberlain. back in the 1962 All-Star Game.
And, you know, a lot of Wilt's records seem virtually untouchable, but I don't think that one is. With all these great scores, who knows? It might be broken tonight.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right. Wow. Timeout called here. The West All-Stars decide to talk it over. And the East All-Stars with some changes. Brad Daugherty, he's checked in for Malone. Ewing comes in for Bird. And it's Rivers in for Isaiah Thomas. Then for the West All-Stars, Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Olajuwon. Worthy comes in for English. And Clyde Drexler has subbed in for Lever. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Malone.
You know, that's just sloppy basketball, giving away a possession. No real reason for that turnover.
The East leading by 18. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the most All-Star appearances by far in NBA history, Clark. And an All-Star in every season of his career except one. And in that year, he was injured.
Yeah, and at 40 years of age, matter of fact, the youngest player tonight was only 4 years old when Kareem made his first All-Star appearance. That player, Brad Daugherty.
No kidding.
That's right.
And Kareem looking to set the career record for All-Star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you got to love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
A good one.
You know, there's so much that's amazing to me about Jordan, but his endurance stands out. He consistently gets stronger, it seems, as the game goes on.
Shoot two. Free throw good, Jordan. Good on both. There's got to be some excitement, maybe even, Clark, some butterflies playing in the All-Star game. You want to prove you belong out there.
I agree with that, and there can also be the temptation to try to do a little too much, maybe get flashy, but with these players still getting a feel for each other in the flow, a lot to be said for making the simple play.
Nevertheless, a great honor. Here's Jordan driving the lane, up and in on the layup. Jordan's got 25 points in the game.
Right out of the starting blocks. They've been dominant at the offensive end.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Johnson dishes to Drexler. Over Rivers. Drexler high post. Johnson up top. On the wing, Drexler. Second chance shot. That one doesn't go.
Well, you've got to be there defensively. I mean, that's an easy mid-range jumper that he'll typically drain.
Michael Jordan getting it done for the East. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. And we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home the win and the MVP hardware. Now here's Johnson. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star Game. And enjoying his finest pro season, Clyde the Glide Drexler making his second All-Star appearance. Worked over the summer with Kiki Vandeweghe to substantially improve his jump shot.
They've got Ewing. Rivers out there with Jordan. Then there's Daugherty. And it's Wilkins in at the 3 slot. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars. How about that? Mike's a terrific friend of yours and mine, and Fratello's Hawks recently moved into first place in the East after the Cavs beat the Celtics. Clark enabling him to become the coach of the East All-Stars.
So don't be surprised if the Cavs' Brad Daugherty gets extended minutes in his first All-Star appearance. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin, and you know they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them.
Chalk up 2 there. Jordan's got 31.
How do you expand the lead? Increase it. It takes good play on both ends.
They need to find a high percentage shot, Clark, to regain some of that confidence.
I think they've gone too long without seeing one go down, and that begins to mess with your psyche.
Johnson can't hit. And here's Jordan. He'll bring it up for the East All-Stars. Drives to the hoop. And they pick up 2. Jordan's got 33 points.
You know, once Jordan makes his move to the basket, he has no intention of stopping, which makes it hard to slow his progress.
Now, here's Johnson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Rivers against Drexler. Worthy sets a screen for Drexler. 5 on the clock. The West All-Stars need to get a shot off here. The West again cannot hit.
And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and, you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
Timeout called here by the East. They're going to talk it over. And some changes here for the East. Kevin McHale, he checked in for Daugherty. Bird comes in for Wilkins. And Isaiah Thomas is subbed in for Rivers. The West All-Stars also changing it up. Olajuwon's checked in for Abdul-Jabbar. Aguirre comes in for James Worthy. And Levers subbed in for Clyde Drexler. The shot by Johnson, no good. And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
That's a good point. Here's Johnson following the basket by Michael Jordan. Will it go? They get the rebound. Olajuwon. Excellent defense there from Ewing.
Tell you what, you can feel their frustration underneath the surface. It's actually palpable with all these misses.
No problem knocking that one down. Jordan's got 39.
He is certainly a dominant player. Michael Jordan, when he's in the zone, unstoppable.
Johnson, the pass to Olajuwon. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Ewing.
That's on Patrick Ewing.
And that was a foul, no question about it.
West All-Stars shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one.
What Akeem provides for his team is a rock-solid foundation. They can rely on him on both ends and build schemes around his talents.
The West All-Stars making a switch here. Malone's checked in. And Jordan Clark within reach of the record.
He's almost there. Keep that pedal to the metal is what I say.
Now here's Johnson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Here's Olajuwon. It's hauled in by the East.
Well, you know, this is what happens. You can't afford to lose concentration even for a nanosecond.
And it's a new single-game record in scoring for the All-Star game. Set right in front of us by Michael Jordan.
What an incredible athlete, Kevin. And it seems whatever he sets his mind to do, he can do it. Impressive. Johnson's length makes him hard to deal with inside, which is why he's able to draw fouls.
The West All-Stars shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
Magic Johnson. 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, pretty much the perfect point guard, if there is such a thing. Magic has incredible passing skills, great size, unbelievable vision, plus leadership qualities that make him CEO-like.
Malone's checked in for Patrick Ewing. And Johnson drops them both. He's with the ball. They're on an 18-4 run. Jordan with it. Picked up by Malone. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Pretty good display of strength by Jordan there. Absorbed the contact and still able to nail the shot.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
Michael Jordan at the line for one.
One shot.
And the West All-Stars have possession. It's Lever on the wing. He's guarded by Thomas. The putback. It's good on the putback.
And, you know, before every game, Karl Malone calls his mother back in Summerfield, Louisiana, to ask what numbers he should shoot for. Tonight, she said go for 25 and 11. How about this list? Players who have never missed an All-Star game in their careers. Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Those last three playing here tonight. And Fat Lever, snubbed a year ago, now a first-time All-Star, well-deserved. He leads the league in triple-doubles, one of the original stat sheet stuffers, averaging 9 rebounds a game as well. Best by a mile for NBA guard. All too easy for Jordan, just unfazed by anything the defense throws at him. He's got an answer.
Johnson outside. Malone against McHale. Malone kicks to Lever. Some nice passing here by the West. Malone misses. And so it's McHale with it. He'll bring it up for the East All-Stars. And not many out there who can elevate like Michael Jordan.
There's the peripheral vision we talk about. Bird finding a wide-open teammate.
Jordan against Johnson. The pass to Olajuwon. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's the East All-Stars with a major 39-point lead here at the end of the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We come back right after this. And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th. So it's the West now.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
And the West All-Stars, looking at who they've got. They've got English. Lever is out there with Magic Johnson. Then it's Malone. And it's Olajuwon in at the center, filling out the middle. Now, here is Olajuwon. Following the miss by Michael Jordan. And of the players in tonight's All-Star game, Clark, two have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
Here's English, following the basket by Michael Jordan. Lever passes to Johnson. Here's Olajuwon. Here's Malone. And the East with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
Team foul.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Karl Malone taking 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
Well, I tell you what, if you wanted the template for the perfect power forward, it might be Karl Malone. I mean, he's got everything you want in a 4-man.
So he gets them both. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Jordan is doubled. Thomas dishes to Jordan. He takes it in. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Jordan's got 54 points.
Really strong to the bucket there. They're draped all over him, and he still gets it done.
Here's English. Kicks it out to Johnson. Back to English. Second shot opportunity. It's rebounded by Malone.
And, you know, most of these guys are accustomed to having their team's offense built around them. It's an adjustment. Whoa! Michael Jordan, MJ. It really doesn't get much better than this.
Johnson attacking. The West again cannot hit.
He just can't seem to get anything to go. He's in a bit of a rut.
Here's Jordan. Sinks that one from the post. Jordan's got 58.
Hey, it's as plain as pound cake. Keep it simple. They want to see how big this league can get.
Offensively, Clark, things have sort of fallen apart for him.
And they need to recover as soon as possible.
Olajuwon, no luck.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked soon. I mean, that's how bad his shot selection has been.
And the dunk by Jordan.
And they have not let up. They are still in attack mode despite their sizable lead.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Malone, a screen on Thomas. Pass to Malone. Pass to Johnson. Malone, a screen on Jordan. 4 on the shot clock. Johnson. And stolen by Jordan.
You know, there's been talk about adding a third referee to NBA games. The commissioner and the rules committee are in favor of it. And they plan to put it before the board of governors at the next meeting.
And so English will bring it up for the West All-Stars. Lever outside. Malone sets the pick for English. Back to Lever. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Olajuwon. That's in there. Lever with the assist. Olajuwon's got his second bucket of the night. And Clark, with 3 officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball? They can pick up a lot more, certainly with more guys out there.
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the third official, but over time it'll smooth itself out. Off the ball, you know, some things you could get away with in the past, maybe not so much with 3 officials out there.
Olajuwon can't hit.
You know, sometimes making it difficult for him to finish at the rim is all you can ask for from the defense.
Good on the bucket.
Coming out of halftime, they're on an absolute tear.
Johnson with it. He dishes it to Lever. That shot off. Great D that time from Jordan. The East All-Stars on offense. They're on a 16-4 run right now. And for a report on the center position, we take you over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, one of the big stories this weekend is the matchup of Moses Malone and Hakeem Olajuwon. Of course, Moses helped Hakeem a lot when he was starting in the game. He worked with him down in Houston in the summertime on low post moves and how to really rebound the basketball. Now we see the torch being passed from one of the all-time greats to a future all-time great. Kevin, back to you.
That's a good story, D.A., and there is that handoff, which is so historic to watch. Hakeem Olajuwon, by the way, Clark, got the third most All-Star votes this year.
Which indicates how much the fans are beginning to recognize and appreciate his excellence. There's a reason that Olajuwon was drafted ahead of Michael Jordan. He's got a lot of game and clearly on his way to being one of the all-time greats. And in this day and age, you've got to have a dominant center to be able to compete for championships.
He is indeed a very special player. You're right. And it's Dominique Wilkins with the foul.
Wilkins.
That's his first foul. A big group substitution here for the East. Doherty's checked in for Malone. Ewing comes in for Bird. Ainge is checked in for Dominique Wilkins. And it's Rivers in for Isaiah Thomas. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Donaldson, he's checked in for Olajuwon. Abdul-Jabbar comes in for Malone. Worthy's checked in for English. And it's Drexler in for Johnson. It's been a one-sided affair for sure.
It is obvious and clear who the better team is. Pretty artful dribbling display by Jordan there, and it completely baffled the defender.
Lever against Rivers. Donaldson. And they immediately answer back with the dunk at the other end. And the 7-2 center from the Mavericks, James Donaldson.
You know, I think he's the only lefty in this game. Larry Bird and Danny Ainge right left-handed, but they shoot it with their right hand.
You and I have talked about this before, but defending a lefty is different than defending clearly a right-handed shooter.
Throws you off just a little bit, Kevin.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The East All-Stars up on top, running away with it. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. Welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
They've got Ainge. McHale is out there with Michael Jordan. Then it's Cheeks. And it's Doherty in at the 5. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars. On the wing, Drexler. Over Cheeks. Drexler, no good. Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are graped up pretty good.
Jordan, 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. Down the stretch here, the East, Clark out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch. Entertaining from both sides.
Woo, it sure has been. And both free throws good for Jordan. And here's Drexler. Feeds it to Worthy. The shot off that time. McHale with some nice D. And here is the East now. And they double up Jordan. Passes to Ainge. Back to Jordan. They get it back. McHale kicks to Ainge. Here's Jordan. Here's McHale. Stolen by Worthy. The pass to McDaniel. Outside, Aguirre. Outside, Worthy. Pass to Drexler. Throws it up high. And out of bounds. The East All-Stars will have it.
Well, that's a moment he'd like to archive. Embarrassing lapse of judgment there.
Magic Johnson, who checked in for the West.
Magic Johnson.
First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter.
And after the Central Division, the Midwest has been the second most competitive division. Those teams are sitting at 10 games over 500. As they keep expanding this lead, keep feeding him the ball.
To the paint. Here's Aguirre. Magic Johnson delivers passes with such pinpoint accuracy. Wow.
And the Mavericks' Mark Aguirre actually got married last night. How about that? A big weekend for the DePaul product. Jordan's got a lot of flash to his game. A terrific guard, loves getting tricky with his ball handling and creating shots for himself.
And Clark in the Midwest, those Rockets are really making a push.
And they're doing it behind Hakeem Olajuwon. To me, he's the best center in the NBA. They certainly got a chance to give the Lakers a run for their money.
Oh, yeah. Aguirre, no good.
Wide open, and still, surprisingly, he wasn't able to cash in.
Jordan is doubled. Drexler against Cheeks. Here's Jordan. The East All-Stars check on 2 more.
I think Jordan could do this all day long. I mean, the mid-range area is a very comfortable area for him. And Commissioner David Stern in the house tonight. Since taking over 4 years ago, he's done a remarkable job helping guide this league to new unprecedented heights.
Exactly. Goes back up. The kick out to Ainge. Pass to Jordan for the 3. McDaniel grabs the miss. One thing the league has done since Commissioner Stern has taken over, Clark, is really marketing the league around its stars. And I like that type of strategy.
I agree with you, Kevin, wholeheartedly. And what better time to highlight those great stars than tonight? Amazing talent, compelling personalities. The league is certainly on a great trajectory.
It absolutely is. Outside, Drexler. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the 4th. And he makes that one.
And at 26 points per game, Drexler ranks 7th in the league in scoring. His Blazers playing catch-up with the Lakers, though. Their improved defense has helped them overcome some early injuries. And this is why you just can't give Jordan a running start. I mean, once he has that, the launch pad is set, and he's going to ecstasy right through the air and on top of your head.
McDaniel, the pass to Drexler. Kicks it out to Johnson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Passes it to Donaldson. And Magic Johnson continuing to orchestrate beautifully. And in his 8th season in the NBA, James Donaldson making Clark his first All-Star appearance.
And you know, Kevin, before his NBA career, he actually played his first professional season in Italy. So he's taking the path less traveled for sure.
He said, "Arrivederci" to Italy to come to the NBA.
Yes, he did.
And he comes up with the deuce.
Magic Johnson leads the league in assists, and he's also got the most assists in All-Star game history. He processes the game at another level, folks.
And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Patrick Ewing's checked in for the East. The West All-Stars also changing it up. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for McDaniel. Worthy comes in for Aguirre. And Lever's subbed in for Magic Johnson. Lever, the pass to Abdul-Jabbar. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Abdul-Jabbar.
Not sure what he was thinking about with that pass. Just sailed it right out of bounds.
Clark, how about the unselfishness of this team?
Love the willingness to make that extra pass, and it has the defense in a scramble mode.
A nice shot by Jordan.
There's not a place on the floor where Jordan can't hurt you. Efficient is what he is.
Lever against Cheeks. Donaldson the pass to Abdul-Jabbar. And Kareem, the elder statesman. 19 years in the NBA. Decades of dominance. Here's Jordan. Here he goes. The basket good off the assist from Cheeks.
They've turned it up a notch here during this home stretch.
Lever against Cheeks. Here's Abdul-Jabbar. Another shot. Donaldson the pass to Abdul-Jabbar. Worthy. Tough sequence there. They just couldn't get it to fall. And Ewing has got the ball here for the East. Jordan drives in, and Jordan slams it in.
There it is right there in front of you. Jordan going to work and dunking it like only he can.
There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lever passes to Abdul-Jabbar. Wants to get it to Worthy and does. Yep, that one goes. Well, Clark, there was some question whether James Worthy would actually play in this All-Star game.
Yeah, he's dealing with some tendonitis in his knee, and because of that, I think his minutes very well could be limited.
Yeah, he's got to pay attention to the big picture, doesn't he?
Yeah, basically been all him. I mean, he scored most of the points himself.
And the Eastern All-Stars delivered. The favorites coming in. Clark, they did not disappoint.
Yeah, you looked at that team on paper, and you saw they were the stronger team and should have been favored. But you still got to go out and prove it, and they did exactly that.
And so much scoring in that lineup for the East. My goodness, look at those names. That's always going to be tough to stop.
And you factor in the raucous crowd cheering on Michael Jordan, Kevin. No wonder they found that extra gear they needed when it was time to get it done.
That's a good point. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.